What's good, you guys? We're back again with another video, and today we're here to talk about the James Harden situation. So the news broke this morning. Well, it wasn't really news. James Harden is in China right now, and I guess he was like holding his own event. And he said it not once but twice that he will not work with Daryl Morey, or not play for Daryl Morey anymore. And Daryl Morey is a liar. Now, how do I feel about the situation? Honestly, I see both sides, and I really don't think neither one of them are wrong. I just think once you break it down, it's kind of easy to understand why both of them are why they're on different paths. So let's just really break it down. So last year in the offseason, James Harden did something that not a lot of superstars would do, and he did something kind of surprised everybody. He took a huge pay cut. Now, while I was taking that pay cut, Daryl Morey told him that he will pay him the money he wants this year. Now we're here, and Daryl Morey doesn't want to pay him the money. Why do I think he doesn't want to pay him the money? Because this is the second year in a row that they get to the playoffs and James Harden has folded. Now, also his co-star folded. Joel Embiid folded back-to-back years also. But hey, Joel Embiid's MVP. If he was up for a contract right now, Daryl Morey would give him that contract instantly. But he's already on contract. James Harden is the issue right now. He needs a contract. Now, the last 2 years, James Harden has folded. I think he did a good job getting him to that Miami Heat series last year, but in that series, he played terrible. This year, played against the Brooklyn Nets, and then he had 2 games against the Celtics, but the rest of that, he was terrible. So, I believe that's the reason why Daryl Morey doesn't want to give him that contract, because it just doesn't make sense to give a guy a max contract who's literally showing you that he's not in his prime no more. So I understand that point, but from James Harden's point, they grew up together basically. Like, this relationship stems all the way back to the Rockets years. That was his GM, and they kind of had a very close relationship. He let James Harden do a lot, and that's because in return, James Harden was doing a lot on court, and he was taking them to levels that they haven't reached since probably Hakeem. So back then, they just grew a big relationship. He was giving Harden all the players he wanted, because that's what you have to do, man. You have to give your best player one of your best players in your franchise history. He was doing that, giving him Russell Westbrook, giving him Chris Paul, giving him Dwight at a certain point. Like, he was doing everything for Harden, and in return, Harden was doing what he was doing on the court. And they kind of built that relationship to where you got my back, I got your back. And then when Harden left and Daryl Morey went to the 76ers, Harden went to the Nets, and then Harden wanted to get out the Nets, which is a reoccurring thing where Harden wants to get out these organizations. And who came and got him? Daryl Morey, instantly. It didn't. As soon as Harden wanted to go, a week later he was gone. And that's because Daryl Morey, again, you want to leave, I got your back. So we're here now. Harden's thinking, okay, I had your back last year. I took a pay cut. You brought in PJ for the money that we didn't have until I took the pay cut. You brought in my boy PJ again. Daryl Morey's probably thinking, hey, we both had our back. I got you your boy, and you took the pay cut. But Harden was thinking this year, okay, I'll get my back and give you my money. But he's like, I'm not doing that. And I see both sides. I think Daryl Morey is right for not giving him a max contract, because let's just be honest, Harden is not there no more. He's still a top 30 player. Like, he's like that talented that like this level of Harden is better than damn near the whole league. He's still that talented, still a top 30 player. But it's a reoccurring event for the last I would say 2020 he had a good playoffs, and most of the playoffs he had a good playoffs. It was just when the big moments happen, Harden's just never there. It's never there. That's why he gets labeled as a playoff dropper, because when the moment to show up and show that you're a top 3 shooting guard of all time, one of the best players of all time, you don't show it. So I understand him not getting him that money, but I also understand James Harden's side of things. We grew up together. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. You told me last year, literally, you told me out your mouth, you're getting that contract next year. You just had my back. You told me I'm getting that contract next year. Why, when we're in the year when you're supposed to give me the contract, in the time when you're supposed to give me the contract, you don't want to give it to me? It's kind of weird when we just, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. We grew up together, so I see both sides. And I don't think nobody was wrong, but how do they resolve it? I'm going to tell you one thing. Harden is not showing up to training camp. He's not Ben Simmons. He has the luxury not to show it to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons didn't even want to show it. Motherfucker showed with his phone in his pocket. I hope that was his phone. I'm not even going. I'm not even going to continue that joke. But yeah, I hope that was his phone. He's not going to show up. They already have reports saying he's not going to show up. And he literally just said in front of people, he knew it was going to get viral. The motherfucker said it twice for a reason. So if you missed it the first time, get your phones out because I'm going to say it again. He knew it was going to be viral. He said, I'm never playing for him again. And he's a liar. So I understand how Harden feels like he got stabbed in the back. Now, I do think he has to look at himself and realize he's not there yet. Now, even though he's not there yet, I still think, I don't know what level of contract. I don't know if it's Supermax or like the big max that fucking Jokic and AD getting. I don't know if it's that, but I do think Harden is still worth, like in this market, like 30 to 35 million. But I understand, Daryl. I understand. And how they're going to resolve this, I think they're just going to have to bite the bullet and trade him. Because, if we're being honest, Harden literally has all the leverage. He's already saying he's not coming back. You kind of, if you're not going to pay him, if you're going to pay him, then yeah, he'll play. So he has that leverage right there. But if you're not going to play him, he's not going to play. And he's good enough to, he's going to lose a lot of money. He's good enough for that. Motherfucker's made a lot of money. He's still making a lot of money with the shoe deals, the brands, everything. He's good on that. He can take a fucking year break if he wants to. But at some point, you have to look in the mirror yourself, Daryl Morey, and be like, I have an MVP that wants to win. And if I don't keep this MVP happy, I'm gone, and he's also gone. So you're losing one of the best players in their history, also losing yourself. Because if you just don't bite the bullet and trade him, you're gonna go out there with Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris as his co-stars. Yes, Embiid is that great that they're going to be a top playoff team. They're going to be like a top 6 seed. But again, you're not going to win. Embiid wants to win. Your organization, the worst fans in the world, well, the best fans to y'all, but like from the outside in, they're the worst fans in the world. They want to win. And if you don't trade Harden and if you just let him sit and you go into this current season with that current roster, you'll lose again. So he's in a hard spot. Now, teams I would love to see Harden go to, I've been campaigning for this like the whole day since the news happened. I added Daryl Morey twice. Go out there and get CJ McCollum. You get some of them picks they got because they got picks, and you get some of that young talent they got because they got a little bit too much. And you say, fuck it, we bought. He said he wants an elite player and picks. I tweeted him. I said, CJ McCollum for the last 10 years has averaged 21 and 7. First of all, I didn't know he was in the league for that fucking long. CJ McCollum has been very good for a long time, and it sucks that he never made the All-Star team. But he's averaged 21 and 5, actually, not 7, for the last 10 years. And I was like, that's elite. Now, I don't know if they have picks, but they have 2 lottery picks that they'd be willing to give up at least one of them, and Jordan Hawkins or Dyson Daniels. They fuck around, be willing to give up 2 for Harden. And then you can take Kara Lewis, who's another lottery pick who's still very young. There you go. You got your picks that are players. You got your the elite starters. Let's be honest. It's not a lot of people out here that's going to get traded for Harden, and that's one of the best options. And you roll into the season with Tyrese at the 1, CJ at the 2, Tobias at the 3, what's his name? PJ Tucker at the 4, and Joel Embiid at the 5. I think you're still a very good team. I don't think it's a huge drop off at all. So this is why I'm saying James Harden has all the leverage, because they're still going to be bad. Like from a contender standpoint, they're still going to be bad. Like they're still not going to win shit. But like, hey, you don't want to pay me, so you just gotta settle. So that's how I feel about the situation, man. I feel like this whole situation is like a little petty, because like you promised them to give him money, so you kind of have to pay it, but you also promised me that you were going to be good for the money, and you really wasn't. But I understand both sides. I don't think nobody's wrong. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I really want Harden in the Pelican jersey. I do. If he's like the point guard Harden, that's what I want. I don't want him to go back to the old Harden, because I don't know if you know, he dialed back his scoring and became more of a playmaker to fit Woods on the beat. Now, if he doesn't feel like he has to do that for Brandon Ingram and Zion, then I don't want that shit at all. But if he does, they would be fire. Harden as the third option, and shit, they need a center though. They need a real center, but like Harden as the third option with them boys over there. You got Harden, Herb, Bi, Zion, Valanciunas off the bench, Murphy, Najee Marshall, Jose Alvarado. All these others, but and then whatever they give up for Harden, that's still there. Like whatever they don't give up for Harden, they be on some shit. But yeah, we'll never know. But that's how I feel about the situation. Let me know how you feel about the situation below. Like and subscribe. I am starting my position ranking video this week. And I'm coming in hot. I'm making my position ranking, not who everybody else. This is my position ranking. So hope y'all enjoy. I'll talk to you guys later on this week.